Hi guys, it's Amy with Aim to Plan, and I am here setting up the front of my planner. So this video, once again, will be sped up. I'm recording this really late at night, so I've got coffee. Bad idea, because I was not able to sleep after this. But I'm going to be decorating the front pages of my planner. So we'll have the hello page as well as some vision board pages that I'm adding into the planner, just to be able to keep track of some goals. I'll probably have a couple of videos putting together some of these goals pages, but I did select two sets of vision boards from two different Disney Princess companion packs, and then I have the hello page from Sophisticated Florals, and then right here in between the beginning of the vision pages and the end of the hello page, I'm going to add in a very special DIY, which is going to be my word of the year, which is complete. It's kind of a word choice that I feel like might be a little bit awkward. I was thinking initially about using content, but really one of the goals that I have for 2022 is to be able to take several projects that I have tried to, like, I've started at some point, and just begun these projects, and I just don't complete them. So that's kind of where the word came from. When I was thinking about this word in December, or like what my word of the year should be, this was just the word that came to me. So you can see here that I went ahead and printed it out on cardstock paper, just to kind of match some of the thickness of the vision boards. And I printed 4 letters on one side and 4 letters on the other side. And now I'm just going to trim it down. I had to zoom out just a little bit to be able to fit the whole thing on here. I did draw in some lines. You saw that a little bit earlier, so that way I could cut these lines. But what I'm going to be doing is trimming it out, slightly bigger than the page, the 7 by 9 1/4, so that way I have a little bit of room to trim it out once I get it pasted into place. And so I'm just going to run through and do some math, which is definitely not my strong suit, but I'm going to try to get the numbers here for what I need to do. So one of the things I just don't want to do, especially with these front pages, is have the pages kind of like be crooked, especially since I'm kind of like DIYing this into place. And some of the pages just aren't exactly, like, in terms of like the punches and things like that, they just don't line up exactly right. So I don't want to cut it exactly to 7 by 9 1/4, just in case like there's some like mismeasurements on my end or on the Happy Planner's end. So I'm just trimming it down. I like go several times just to make sure that I'm not cutting off way too much, but also I ended up cutting it a little bit short, so I'm doing it a second time here, if I can figure out how to use this thing. The other major issue is that this guillotine that I'm using is, like, I love it. It cuts down paper so quickly, like I could do several sheets at a time, but it also cuts a slightly crooked line. So, I think that's perfect. Let me do the second sheet here. And again, like, cutting it a little bit bigger than I need it to be, so that way I can trim it down by hand using a pair of scissors, after the fact. And so since I did the first sheet, I do have a better idea of like how much to cut here. And so I did that. And then I trimmed this last edge, and then we're going to be putting it into the planner. Oh, I forgot to cut this side. Okay, so they're both cut down now. Let me go ahead and get this all put together so that way, and zoomed in, so that way I can get them pasted into the planner. One thing I noticed here is that, gosh, like, the the left hand side, it's a lot closer to where I want it to be in terms of the margin, but it's not perfect. So anyway, it doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna go ahead and punch it. And since I'm cutting it a little bit shorter, I drew a line just to make sure that I am cutting it in the right area. And I ended up deciding, instead of trying to gauge it like that, I'm just going to use a pencil and draw a line just like straight, a little bit further out, so that way I can kind of align it with a single punch, and make sure that the punch is right in the middle. And so that works out great. And I'll punch both sides of it. This is when I kind of noticed that the right hand side is further from the margin, but I will live with it. It's totally fine. Anyway, I'll erase the little pencil marks that I made, clean up a little bit. And then we're going to like put in some boxes. I'm going to, like, at this point, put down boxes, these like gold foiled boxes, without, like, how quickly I forget, without remembering that I had cut it a little bit bigger. And so I'll place 6 boxes. I don't think I'll have 6 areas for goals, but I do want to set some goals related to the word of the year. I do end up selecting 5 goals, or 5 areas. So it's going to be my physical or and mental health, my social goals, like related to family, friends, things like that, spiritual goals, a goal for personal development, and then a goal for my home. And then I just have one like miscellaneous one that I haven't filled out quite yet. But then, like I said, I placed these stickers with forgetting that I had like gone through and like made it a little bit bigger. So I'm gonna start putting down some stickers. I want to keep it kind of like with the beginning, the hello page, and so I'm using sophisticated florals for that. And as I decide to trim this down, this is when I realized that I need to go through and cut down. So you'll see me like do a couple of cuts here, and like again, like doing it late at night, don't recommend that at all, just because you do forget something that you did literally like 5 minutes ago. Like it wasn't even that long ago. So I do remember at this point, and so I'm gonna go ahead and glue down everything, trim out the edges by hand, remove the stickers, trim everything down by hand, and like do both sides of it so that way I have everything kind of set up. So we'll take care of that at this point. Okay, so I've got all the stickers back in place, kind of in the same place where they were. I didn't measure this out. I just kind of like eyeballed it. And so I'm using the second half of that one sophisticated floral sticker. I know it's very light, like you could barely see it. But it's like that light pink coral color. And so I have that on the sheet of paper. Then I'm adding in some black, just to give it a little bit more of a pop. And I'm pretty much done with this page. I'm flipping through just to see if there's anything else I want to add, but I think that's pretty much it. I do want to keep it fairly functional. And so as I look through these stickers, nothing's really speaking to me as something I want to add in here. So, I'm just going to call it done. I will go back after the fact, and when I'm a little bit more awake and aware, not late at night, I will fill it in with my goals. And so these pages are now done, or at least my word of the year is done. I will now hand letter my name on this front page. And so I'm using a Sharpie marker just to kind of put my name in here. I do really want to get back into lettering a lot more in my planner and just practicing lettering. One of the letters I hate writing is E, and of course I have 2 E's in my name. So I end up lettering my name. I think it looks great. Just for the time and the season that I'm in, it looks great. And so I letter my name in, and then you'll see this in just a second. I decide to try to center it by adding some flourishes, and so then I hate it. So just the initial like letters though, I think they look great. It's not my best work, but it's not meant to be. Like, it's meant to be a representation of where I am at the time. So I think it looks good. But then I add these flourishes Like, that one looks okay, kinda, but this first one, oh, I hate it. Why did I do that? Oh, I hate it. Okay, so anyway, what I decided to do is just to pause the video, go ahead and spend some time on my computer cutting out, using a font that I downloaded, and cutting out this or printing it out on sticker paper so that way I could just replace the entire thing. So that's what I'm going to end up doing here. I will just cut through these stickers using my X-Acto knife and a ruler, just cutting through the first layer, the sticker layer of the paper, and not so much the second one, so that way I can peel it off just like a sticker sheet. And so I'm trying to like measure it just enough so that way it goes in between the letters that I have here. And so it does. It was a pretty good eyeball, actually. The one thing that it's kind of hard to tell on video, but the Sophisticated Florals Hello page has like this really faint, like kind of like batik pattern. It's not exactly white. And so putting this white sticker paper on it, I don't know if you can tell on video once I get it placed, but like it's definitely like noticeable to me when I'm looking at it. I think you can kind of tell. Anyway, the sticker looks great, but then when I started placing it down, you can definitely see the Sharpie underneath it. So I decided to add a second layer of stickers, just right on top. And I just trim it down so that way I leave that like kind of pale pink border around it. Didn't want to like just sticker over all of that. So I cut off on both sides, so that way I save that border. And then now I will put my sticker down with some trimming. Again, like DIY projects, right? So I trim down just a little bit. I try to trim down not quite so much, so that way I have enough, but then I didn't trim enough. So here's my second cut to try to get it centered and big enough to cover up my handwriting. And so I'll get that down. And then once again, I will flip through several sticker books to try to like add a little bit more to it, just to get rid of some of the white. I think you can kind of see the white here. So just try to break up some of the white. I flipped through initially Colorful Florals, but I feel like that's just too colorful. I feel like there's a very subdued color palette here, and so I do like the rose gold. Don't know if I want to bring that in. These colorful florals just are too much though, so I'm going to go back to Sophisticated Florals. I'll flip through this book, and I think that I'm just going to stick with some of these larger florals. They look good, I think, and will help to kind of blend in the white a little bit more, or like mask it a little bit. I don't think you can perfectly like hide the fact that I put a sticker over here, but I'm just going to add some stickers. This very first sticker I laid down, I didn't love it, but then like it caught some of the ink from my printer, so I ended up having to put it in the initial position, and like there's a little bit of black. I don't know if you can tell. So I lay it in the initial position, then I just decorate all the way around it with some stickers, again trying to break up the white a little bit with some florals. And one thing that I do here is cover up the 21-22 like dating. I'm only using this planner for the 2022 part for Sophia's memory book. Even though I'm using this name page for myself, I am only using it for 2022. So I went ahead and just like covered that up, added a sticker right on top of that just to like get rid of the date, just because I don't think having the 21 part of it there made sense. So I do also add some of the rose gold foiling at the top just to kind of like get some of that color up there. And then a couple more smaller like leaf pictures or like stickers, so that way I could again break up some of the white here. Trying to decide where I should place this. And I mean, even though like I'm sticking with like a very similar thing, I feel like this page really is my style and I love it. And it is still unique to me just because I am adding stickers to it and not just my name. So I really love it. I did want to try to find a quote here, but none of the quotes in Sophisticated Florals really worked. And just I feel like they just wouldn't work at the very top, which is the one place that I could put it. They're either too big, too long, or like just not like a quote that fits with what I'm trying to go for 2022, especially with my word of the year complete. At this point, I'm going to add it into my planner with some trimming and like just getting it into my Franken planner. So my massive Franken planner is here. Look at this thing. It's giant. I love it. It is so nice to have all of my planners in one place. I forgot to punch through this one area with like some stickers and like extra like just sticker paper, so I got that punched. I have all of my vision board papers here, and then one thing I did want to show you is like basically a flip through all of this, right? So here's my hello page. looks great. My word of the year, complete. And then I have the vision board pages, which I'll be converting into like kind of like quarterly goals or just like journaling about some of the how the word complete is working in my life. And then I did add this one last section. I keep adding stuff, but this is a wedding timeline. My niece is getting married in April, and so I'm not necessarily doing anything for her wedding, but it's just nice to kind of keep track of her wedding. And then I added a couple of notes pages from the Stargazer monthly layout, and just in case I needed the extra writing room for my wedding timeline. And so that's it. A really quick flip through, kind of quick setup for my word of the year and my hello page. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to my channel. And until the next video, bye guys.